Hey, this is Chantel from Online Business Marketing, and today we're going to be talking about leads tracking and how to build a pipeline system that turns interest into sales. It drives me absolutely nuts when people are so leads focused and they're going, I just need more leads, I just need more leads, I just need more leads. And they're going out there and they doing events, going to networking events, running expos, and they're getting all these leads. And then they go, into the air and they go to the next event and try to generate some more. It is absolutely imperative that you have a leads tracking system and that you're actually aware of the fact that the buyer's journey is usually not to buy right now, but to be touched many times in this special place until they make a decision to actually buy. And it's important for you to make sure that you get that buyer's journey and that leads journey right. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about that and how you can turn them into paying customers. It can be a little bit easier with e-commerce because e-commerce, it's like, oh, I see that ring, I like that ring, I want to buy that ring, and you buy that ring, or you add it to cart, you forget about it, you get an abandoned cart sequence. But for service-based businesses, it can be a little bit longer. The buyer's journey. So I'm going to say one of the most important things to identify is that what is the usual way that my customer buys? And a really honestly easy cheat way to do this is go, how did I get my last best customers, and write it down step by step. So step by step, what did they do? Did they click an email? Did they go to the website? Did they fill out a contact us form? Did they open 3 emails? Did they click on 2 links? Did they watch a blog, then a podcast? Did they watch a webinar? Like what did they actually do before they made the decision? Because then you can start to, you recreate that in your automations and in your funnels and with what you're doing, because you can automate a lot of this. Some of this though, we don't automate. I've got someone like Jan to do it now. Who's going to be monitoring it, because someone has to monitor it, right? And at the end of the day, we really want to pay attention to those people as well. We don't want to just treat them as a lead. We want to treat them as a customer. We want to treat them as somebody that we are interested in engaging with to do our service. So understanding them a little bit better is really important. Cool. So I think another key point, because this is a program for marketing doers as well, which with the virtual assistants, I think it's really important that the virtual assistants or the marketing doers are really clear on what those marketing activities are. So if you haven't already, business owners as well, it's important for you to write down and go, what are my lead captures? I like to call them lead captures because they're not always lead magnets, but what are the ways that I capture leads? Is it my book a call? Is it my contact us form? Is it an expo? Is it an event? Is it referral partnerships? And write down your lead captures, and then make sure that you have something in place afterwards to nurture those leads to turn them into buying customers. Right. So HubSpot says that companies that follow up within an hour of HubSpot says that companies that follow up within an hour are 7 times more likely to qualify a lead. So we know that the quicker you can follow up on a lead, the quicker they can convert. That's really important. Speed's really important. And Salesforce reports that high-performing sales teams are 2.8 times more likely to use a structured pipeline process. So 2.8 times more likely to use a pipeline. Really, really important. So it's not just about having those leads. It's about having a repeatable process that you can rely on that will take them from just looking, from being aware of who you are and what you're selling, to actually making that decision to buy with you. Okay, so let's look at the foundation first of a lead pipeline system. Okay, it's a lead pipeline system will give you that overview. Like I said, if you've got all your lead captures there, and then we use a one sheet, so we like to have a one sheet for each of those lead captures. You can then see what the entire journey is for each of those. You can have a bird's eye view of every opportunity inside your business and where it's coming from. You can even, if you're really clever, you can even rank it to how well it's actually doing. So for example, put it in the order of best to worst. Like we've got a couple of things that work exceptionally well and others that work sort of not as well as others. All right, so in the olden days, they used to use a spreadsheet, a good old spreadsheet, and we like a spreadsheet. I still have a spreadsheet. I like a spreadsheet. a good old spreadsheet where we can put in the names of people that have contacted us, and we can keep a score of when did we contact them? Where did they come from? Because that's really important, especially for us. Like, we get a lot that come through Facebook Messenger, and our number one goal of getting them through Facebook Messenger is to get their email address, because we don't have that, right? So we want to make sure that we're getting an email address. So with the spreadsheet, we've got to make sure that we go, where are we getting them from? So we're tracking the source of that lead. And then we want to look at the touch points. So when did we send them email 1? When did we send them an SMS? Did they reply? Have you booked a call? Did they say to you to follow up in 3 months? Do you know how many people have clients who say to them, this isn't right for me right now, but can you follow up with me in 3 months? And they don't follow up in 3 months. Why? Because they're not tracking. They don't have a system in place. So really, 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 really important that you have a tracking system. So for us, as I said, I still like a spreadsheet, but we also have a CRM, which I'll talk to you about as well. So your CRM and your lead tracking really does need to be the compass of your business. Marketing is not about marketing. It's not about creating content and spending hours and hours in Canva. Marketing is about generating leads and converting them into sales. That's what it's about. Qualifying the right people with your content and converting them into sales. And if you're just leads focused and not sales focused, you're never going to get sales. So somebody needs to be doing the sales part of that role. So whether or not it's a virtual assistant, where virtual assistants are following up on emails, saying, so for example, if I do an event in Sydney and somebody says to me, oh, I'd really like it if you could send me your podcast on Google My Business, and I go, sure. I get my VA to send them the podcast on Google My Business, and then they will send 2 to 3 other follow-up emails. Is there anything else we can help you with? Is your marketing okay? Are you struggling with anything? Would you like to do this quiz and identify what your gaps are? Maybe you'd like to speak to Chantel and have a free strategy session. So not in a salesy way, in a, how can I help you? You've obviously needing some help because you've asked for some resources. What else are you struggling with? Where else can we add value? So from, I like to say, a heart-led or human-led space, that's what we want to be doing. Okay, so following up and showing genuine interest in them. And when you get lots of those leads coming in, you have to track it somewhere, because else you're going to lose where they're all coming from. So some of the leads that you could be tracking, I have mentioned a few already. So your website contact forms and landing pages. Somebody could be contacting you through your social media, through DMs, or even through comments. This grates me like none other. The amount of Facebook ads that I see, and you know that they're a Facebook ad because it says sponsored. And in the comments below, you'll see people are asking questions in the comments below, and no one's responding. Like, and there's questions from 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and no one is responding. Drives me absolutely nuts. Those people who are commenting are leads. Okay, so very important for you to continue that conversation with them. Event signups, so online or offline, webinar and masterclass registrations, phone calls, texts, and voicemails. So again, if somebody phones me, my number one goal is to get the email address. Referral partners. So we've got a couple of referral partners and they refer to us through email. We've got to continue that relationship with them, keep emailing them and continue that relationship with them with the goal of getting them into a proper sales call. Networking events and expos. Replying to personal emails or replying to business emails. For e-commerce, it's your abandoned carts. Also looking at your people who are clicking on your links. So for example, we've got a marketing doers program that's coming up soon. So our hot leads at the moment are people who are clicking on the learn more button and are actually clicking on that link and having a look at what that program is. So we need to retarget them. And when I say retarget, everyone thinks ads. Retargeting is not ads. Retargeting is going, oh, you clicked a button to have a look at this information. So you're obviously interested in this product. Retargeting is just looking at that, identifying it and going, okay, cool. What's our next step? How can we re-engage with you? Other leads that you could be tracking is, for example, is podcast or media appearances as well. Okay, so tracking that works. A CRM system is absolutely amazing, and obviously the software that we use is OBMHub, and it's a great CRM. And for our live audience today, at the end of the session, I'm going to show you behind the scenes how I've set up my CRM and how we've also set up our scoring system. So I'll show you that today. Integrated forms and landing pages. So getting people to sort of like book a call because that's a lead. Getting a form or a landing page. It's like inquire now, register here, because we can follow up on them. You can also put website tracking pixels to capture visitors' activity on your website. That's going to help you have a look at how much traffic you're getting. But remember, the goal is to actually get an email address of a qualified person, right? And of course, your email marketing platforms, making sure that when you are email marketing, and I'm not talking about sending out personal emails, I'm talking about mass email marketing, you are tagging. Because if you do not tag, you do not know where those people are coming from. So for example, if somebody's downloaded a lead magnet, they will have lead magnet and the name of the lead magnet. So we can go into the CRM, we can have a look and go, Mary has downloaded the hot leads on repeat lead magnet. Then she downloaded the quiz. We've had a look, she's clicked on the book a call, but she didn't actually book a call. And we can go, Mary's hot, right? Mary's hot. Maybe we should actually contact Mary. Or what most people do is they do nothing. They don't have a look at what Mary did and they do absolutely nothing. All right, so how do you build your pipeline? So inside OBMHub or inside any CRM, there is a pipeline or an opportunity section, and that there is where you can manage your pipeline. So you can actually set it up in the stages that you have, that you take your customer through. Now, if you don't have a CRM and you don't feel like you need one, OBMHub comes with one, so that's an added bonus because it's an all-in-one marketing platform. But if you don't have a CRM, a spreadsheet is just as good. You can literally go, as I said, write their name, their mobile number, their email address, where they came from, what they said when you spoke to them, the day, the time, and move to the next. So Dan's asked the question, is MailChimp a CRM? No, it's not. No, it's only an email marketing platform. Okay, so you got those different pipeline stages. So there'll be a new lead. When did you contact them? How did you contact? Did they get an email? Did they get an SMS? Did they get a call? So what are the next steps that you're taking? What are the due dates? What are the wait periods in between? And is somebody following up either with a phone call or an email? Okay. So my virtual assistants have been doing this now for the last probably 3 years. They've been managing our leads tracking just via email. So just good customer service. Even though they're not customers yet, we treat everyone like they're a customer and we give them good service. And then what you do is you drag and drop them. So as somebody finishes a stage, you move them into the next stage. Okay. And as I said, my live audience today, I'll take you into the back end of OBMHub and I'll show you mine if you show me yours. And when you move them through the pipeline, you can automatically trigger emails. So if I move them to 1, I can actually have it that they get the client tag or they go into an automation. So you can actually set it that when you move them through the pipeline, certain actions happen. So for example, if I've been on the call with them and I've had a call with them, I can say, right, they've had my call, I can move them. They don't become a client, so they move to not a client. I can now trigger that now to send off a whole bunch of SMSs or an internal notification to get our salesperson to go call them. Cool. So very important when you're first starting out, guys, try and keep it really simple. Try and keep it to 5, and then you want to build it out to about 7, but you want about 5 touch points. They say that you should not even be looking at another lead or saying that lead is dead until you've touched them 5 times. Relevantly is the most important word. It has to be relevant to them. So how do you set up a scoring system? So lead scoring system is so cool. Like once you set it up, it's literally a set and forget. But when you've got people inside your email, in your contacts inside your email marketing system, they're doing stuff all the time. So for example, I think we've got about 2,000 contacts. And inside our contacts, we actually try to get them to unsubscribe. Our whole goal is to make the people who aren't an ideal customer leave. Like that's our whole goal, right? Because we only want to talk to the people that are our ideal customer. So lead scoring is basically every time they take an action, they get points. And once you set it up, it's just set and forget, right? So say, for example, they download a lead magnet, they get 5 points. If they attend a webinar, they get 10 points. If they're opening emails every week or every month, you can set it, they can get 3 points each. If they're clicking on sales links, they get 8 points. If they request a quote, they're getting 15 points. If they're, listening to a podcast or a blog, they might get 3 points. And then once they hit like certain scores, they get flagged as hot. So for example, you could have like, we call them in robots in South Africa, traffic light system, where you've got red, yellow, green. And it's like, it's kind of backwards though, because it'll be green is like go, and like orange is in the middle, and like red is sort of dead, right? So what happens is it'll automatically take those contacts and automatically put those contacts in there according to their score. So if you suddenly need more clients, okay, and everybody should have sales follow-up time in their diary weekly. If not daily, weekly, it should be in your diary. Every person, business owners, VAs, remembering that Monday and Friday are the worst days, Tuesday's the best day, according to statistics. So if anything, for me, I've got 2 hours on a Tuesday blocked out, and that's my leads follow-up day. Okay, and that's why I've hired someone else now to help me, is because Tuesday is not enough, because some people can't talk to me on a Tuesday, right? So you want to make sure that you can then, if you've got that list, I can now go into my contacts and I can look at all the hot people, all the people that are scoring high, that have been listening to blogs and podcasts and emails, or we can just call them and say, hey, how are you doing? How's your marketing? How's everything going in your business? Tell me what you're struggling with. Maybe we can send you something more specific. Have you thought about engaging somebody to help you with that? Do you need a VA? Do you need software? How can we help you? So you've actually got a leads tracker happening inside your CRM, which is amazing. And it's so easy to set up as well. So I'm going to imagine, Clint, you're probably going to say to me, oh, Chantel, where is this? So Clint, if you email me, my team will create how to set up a lead scoring system. They'll create it for you and they'll upload it into the video tutorials for you to watch, because I know Clint will be wanting this. Okay, so for e-commerce businesses, because we have got some e-commerce businesses on here today as well, the pipeline, e-commerce is it's actually a little bit easier sometimes, I think. It's easier, but I sometimes think the profit's less, because you're selling a product, which means the profit that you make is smaller, but it's a little easier to make sales and everything's a bit shorter. So for e-commerce businesses, it's really about having that abandoned cart recovery set up and tracking who's actually adding stuff to your cart and who didn't buy, and then making sure that you're following up with them with an incentive. I had a really cool one yesterday. There's this organic meat company that sends me meat once a month, and they've been sending it to me. But now, since my daughter's moved out, I'm like, I actually don't need like a box of meat every month. Like, it's just insane. It's just me now at home. So what's the point? So when I went in to unsubscribe, they said to me, can we sweeten the deal? And for your next boxes for a year, we'll give you 1 free rump steak in your box extra. And I was like, oh, you guys, you almost got me. And I went, no, unsubscribe anyway, because I don't need more meat. I've got less people here at the moment. So I just don't need that much meat here at the moment. And then, so that was like a pop-up, right? When I went to unsubscribe. Then when I, inside my emails, sorry to see you go. But before you go, are you sure we can't, what was it? Give you, a steak, it wasn't steak, it was organic salmon. Could we give you organic salmon for the rest of the year if you want to like reinstate it? I was like, guys, come on. So it was really, really good, right? But those are leads. They've gone, right, I'm really a lead. Even though I'm a customer, I'm still a lead, and really we should talk about that as well. But for e-commerce businesses, especially when they buy from you, we've got to try to get them buy from you again, right? They need to obviously buy from you again. So you've got to track their buyer behavior and go, for example, with Alison, if they're buying like her trademarked essential oils, chances are it's going to run out at some point. They've got to buy another one, right? So you need to be tracking, like if Mary bought an oil and an essential oil should last 3 months, in 3 months, Mary should be getting an email to say, hey, it must be about that time now that you've got to buy another essential oil, right? So we're constantly looking for new leads when we've got leads. They're sitting here. They are the buyers who've already bought from you that you need to re-engage, or prospects on your prospects list. So we just need to pay a little bit more attention to them. So lead tracking again, so first time buyers, you can set that up on your website. So your website can identify if it's the first time that person's been on the website, and you can offer them a first time buyers deal, which is awesome. You can also do loyalty offers. So for example, if they spent a certain amount of points, you can send them a loyalty gift or something as well, to get them to buy stuff. All right, so for service-based businesses, it's a longer sales cycle, as I said. Following up is even more critical. Right from the initial inquiry to booking a consultation, to then following up with like a contract or proposal, to actually getting the money. Like at the end of the day, it's not a sale until you actually get money from them, right? So, and then of course, with your other clients as well. So with clients that have left you, there are potential upsells and downsells or on-sells that you could actually be selling them into, for example. So if a client has ended with you, I've got a client at the moment, they're actually still with me, and they've just signed their virtual assistant up for the Marketing Doers program, and she's in a program, and she's actually signed them up to go and do the Marketing Doers program. So your current clients can be sold into other things as well. What is the process for that? Are we actually tracking it? So for example, if I have a client who says to me, oh, OBMHub, what's OBMHub? I write it down, they're a lead. They're a lead for OBMHub, and I can upsell them into the OBMHub product. Okay, so what are some of the follow-up activities that you could do? So you could send a personalized video message. You could share a case study to them. So this is just some of the stuff that my virtual assistants would do. Obviously not the personalized video, that would come from me, but you could send them a case study that's relevant to their problem. You could follow up with I'm just checking in to see how you're going. If there's anything you're working on at the moment or struggling with, if there's something we could send you, a podcast, a blog, a resource, a template. Inviting them to a webinar. Hey, look, there's a webinar coming up. Not sure if you've seen it, but there's one coming up. Would you like us to register you? You could offer a limited time bonus or a discount. And yes, offline tactics as well. So you can send them a handwritten note. I often leave voice messages. I'll just leave a voice message. Hey, how's everything going? Just checking in on you. Do you want to just quickly jump on another call and see how we can, see how I can further support you? So yeah, but keeping note of that, because what happens, for example, like if I travel and like I'm going to Bali for 2.5 weeks. When I come back after 2.5 weeks, it's like, what did I speak to Mary on the call about? Like, what did I actually talk to her about? What was she struggling with? So taking those notes in the CRM is really important. And let me just say this. I don't just take notes about what they said about their business and what they're needing help with. I also take personal notes. I went to a breathwork journey on Saturday night, and I went up to this guy that I'd met months ago at another breathwork event, and we went to like do breathwork at a waterfall. It was amazing. And he was limping at this waterfall. And I went up to him and I was like, oh, how's your Achilles tendon? And he goes, oh my gosh, you've got such a good memory. I'm actually really bad at that stuff. So I write it down. So with your leads tracking, I write it down. I write down personal stuff. Oh, your dog was sick. Oh, your cat was sick. Oh, you said your kids were, graduating. How did that go? So I also write down those personal notes as well, not just the business notes, just so that I can connect with them. So a Harvard Business Review study found that companies with a formalized sales process generated 18% more revenue than those without one. So do me a favor, get a calculator on your phone right now. Everyone get it out. Okay, get your calculator out. Write down how much you make in a year. Okay, how much you make in a year. And if you don't know, that's terrible. How much do you make in a year? Times that by 18%. And that's how much extra you can make in a year with a sales process. Okay, so getting this right, you can make that much more. How exciting is that? But remember, if you don't put it in your diary to do it, to actually work on it and get it right, it's not going to work. All right, so that's it for our audience that's watching on YouTube, who's watching the replay on YouTube. For those of you who are curious about how you can be part of the live audience, you can go onto onlinebusinessmarketing.com.au and contact us there. Alternatively, don't forget to subscribe to YouTube and turn on your notifications. We're now going to go to our live audience where I'm actually going to show them my back end as well and answer any of their questions. This is Chantel Girardi from Online Business Marketing.